This is chapter 1 of 10th class, Nutrition, Food Supplying System. Autotrophs and autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition. We have seen autotrophic nutrition, now heterotrophic nutrition. The amoeba does not have a definite shape. It will take its food wherever it is present. It will just produces finger-like projection known as pseudopodia and just engulf the food particles, and it takes inside the body and just break down the food inside the body, and whatever the wastage is left over, it will just excrete out of the body. Whereas another nutrition which is taking place inside the paramecium, which has a definite shape, and all over the paramecium is cilia is present, which and it has a particular mouth like oral groove from where it takes food material, and it can't take from anywhere. But whereas in amoeba it can take from anywhere, from any side of its body it can take the food materials inside. But whereas in amoeba it has oral groove from where it will take its food materials in. So what helps to take its body inside? The cilia just pass the food materials here, and it will just engulf it, and after the process of breaking of the food material and it also has a anal pore from where the wastage is excreted out. And these are the formation of food vacuole, oral groove and a food vacuole. Okay, these are the reactions taking place. And the parasitic nutrition, the plants which are dependent on others, which take the food of other plants, are known as parasitic organisms. So here they have taken a example of a toddler, a genus Cuscuta. It's a leafless twinning parasitic plant which depends on the this Haustoria in Cuscuta. Okay, it will just grow on the other plants. It won't prepare its own food. It will just take the other plants' food and grow there. Nutrition in human beings. Now we have a complex digestive system. Okay, so for that in our body a different type of organs takes place for the digestion of food. So what are they? Let's see. From mouth we will just take a food in. So alimentary canal, that is the it is a tube-like structure which is starting from a mouth, and it has the endpoint at anus. So what are the organs present in a whole digestive system are, that is mouth, salivary glands. This whole pipe is called as esophagus. Then it's passed through the stomach, and here we have a liver, and backside of the stomach we have pancreas, and here we have a bile duct, and this is a large intestine, this is a small intestine, and from large intestine it has a rectum and then through anus. Okay, so what are the function of alimentary canal or a gut? What happens in a buccal cavity? Buccal cavity means our mouth. Whatever the food we have taken in, we just masticate, and we know when we take a food, when we chew it, saliva releases, which makes the food wet and semi-solid. And what are the glands which are performing this function are, there are three types of salivary glands, which are submandibular, sublingual and parotid glands, which produces saliva, and it break down the carbohydrates present in the food, and the breaking of carbohydrates takes place itself in the mouth only. Okay, but not in the stomach. Then again the further carbohydrates breakdown takes place in the small intestine, but the starting it takes place in the mouth. Okay, then this is a epiglottis, which and tongue help us in swallowing the food, and it just passes the food, the bolus, to pass through the esophagus, and temporarily it will close the air wind pipe. Okay, and in this process the lower jaw takes place. We know we can move our lower jaw. With the help of lower jaw only we are able to masticate, that means chewing the food or a bolus which has entered into the esophagus. How it will move from esophagus to stomach. The movement is called as peristaltic movement. That is, it will all the food doesn't go at a time inside the esophagus. It will just perform a wave-like pattern, and it slowly just enter into the stomach, where the stomach produces HCl and ptyalin enzyme by which food is the food is mixed with the HCl, and all the microorganisms, if it is present in the food, it will just kill those microorganisms. Juices produces and HCl. Now the food is semi-solid in condition. The digestion of food goes on as most proteins are broken down into smaller molecules with the help of enzyme pepsin acting on them. So further, first we have seen in the mouth itself carbohydrates has broken down. Now in the stomach the proteins have broken down with the help of a enzyme called pepsin. Now the slimy. Now we have a stomach. In stomach, from stomach to it has to enter into the small intestine. For the first part or the proximal part of the small intestine is called as the duodenum. So only at a time a small amount of food is passes into the small intestine by the sphincter muscles or the pyloric muscles and pass through the small intestine. The sphincter are responsible for regulating the opening of the passage such that only small quantity of food materials may be passed into the small intestine at a time. It is the site of further digestion of what? Carbohydrates, proteins and fats. It receives the secretion of liver and pancreas for this purpose. For it needs it want to digest carbohydrates, proteins and fats. So it needs juices or enzymes for that purpose. So from where it gets the enzymes from a liver as well as from the pancreas, and it will release those juices into the small intestine and gradually to a basic or alkaline one, because it has mixed with the HCl which is produced by the stomach. It is acidic in nature. Now it will also convert the food into a alkaline or a basic in nature, so that we won't feel irritation in our intestine. Fats are digested by converting them into small globules like forms by the help of bile juice. Inside the liver we have a bile duct. So that is which produces bile juice which is secreted from liver. The process is called emulsification. So breakage of fats is called as into a smaller globules called as emulsification. Pancreas juices secreted pancreatic enzymes called trypsin for carrying the process of digestion of proteins and lipase for fats. And liver is producing pepsin, and pancreas is producing a juices called trypsin, and bile juice also secreting a bile juice for the fat for the digestion of fat. Now as well as all these organs are producing the enzymes, as well as the small intestine also secretes this intestinal juices called subcucentricus, which carry this process further. That is, small molecules of proteins, that is of proteins, are broken down to further smaller molecules. The same is the condition with fats also. And the carbohydrates digestion which is started in the mouth and did not occur in the stomach. It will not occur in the stomach but starts in the mouth, and it will resume. Then it will restart its digestion in the small intestine only. Okay. And the enzymes becomes active for carbohydrate breakdown. Studying the enzyme chart. So for just which organ releases what enzyme, where it is secreted, and where what type of juice it is released, and what are the things it acts on, the whether carbohydrates, proteins or fats, and what are the products formed by the action of these enzymes. So this is a chart. So you have to keep this enzymes or substances by you should remember these names. You can read it as PPB at LPS, labs. PPB at labs. Like that you can remember them. P for ptyalin, pepsin, bile. So ptyalin, pepsin, bile, PPB. At amylase, trypsin. Labs, LPS. Lipase, peptidases and sucrases. Okay. Like that you can remember. And where this enzyme is, you should start where are they secreted. So we are taking food from our mouth. In mouth we have a saliva. So you can just remember that first enzyme is released from where? Salivary gland. Then it enters into the stomach, that is the gastric glands, that is pepsin, and then liver acts, then pancreas. Okay, these ATL. Okay, at L. Salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, pancreas, and these last two, peptidases and sucrases, intestinal glands, and secreted into where they are secreted? Buccal cavity. Saliva won't secrete in the esophagus or in the stomach. Only it is secreted into the buccal cavity only. Gastric glands, that it is produces inside the stomach only. Okay, and duodenum is the proximal part of the small intestine from here to here. Okay, duodenum. Okay, they will secrete these enzymes into the duodenum. Then these two in the small intestine. Then digestive juice. What are the in saliva? Ptyalin, saliva. Gastric juice, bile juice. And this pancreatic juice, as they are released by the pancreas. This is released by the bile, so bile juice. This is pepsin released by the gastric gland, so that's why gastric gland juice. Ptyalin by the salivary gland, so saliva. And intestinal juice. So easy. So first carbohydrates, protein, fats, and peptidases, sucrases, cane sugar. And what are the products? These are maltose, that is carbohydrates. Peptose, that is proteins are breaking down into smaller molecules. Emulsification of bile. We have studied fat molecules are digested and broken and forms into a smaller globule-like structure called emulsification. Break down large fats into small globules. Then maltoses, peptones, fatty acids and glycerol, because it's a lipase, that's why. Amino acids and glucose. So this is the flow chart. Food to mouth. Food we eat from mouth, then to buccal cavity where we chew it, and it is mixed with the salivary glands. Then it enters into the pharynx with the help of our tongue. Our tongue assists our food to in swallowing, and it from pharynx to it enters into the esophagus to stomach to duodenum, where the liver and the pancreas releases its juices or the enzymes, and then duodenum to small intestine to large intestine, where the bacteria are present, which just absorb the vitamins from the food, and then from large intestine to rectum to the wastage is thrown out through or excreted out through anus. That's it. And what we have to do while we are eating? Okay, have simple and well balanced meals. Eating food is a leisurely manner. Don't eat in a hurry. Okay, and balanced diet. Don't overeat. Don't eat very less amount of food or a more amount of food. Balance. It should be balanced, and with a leisurely you should eat, not very fast. Chew it very. See here, through thoroughly masticating the food means chew it very well. Okay, avoiding taking violent exercises soon after eating. After eating, don't do any exercises or hard exercises. Drinking plenty of water and having regular bowel movement. Plenty of water we should drink, up to 7 to 8 glasses or 6 to 7 glasses depending upon their age. Okay, and bowel movement. Bowel movement means excretion. Diseases. If in our food these are the components of foods: carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, minerals, salts and fats. If any of this is more in quantity or less in quantity, it causes a disease. So everything should be in balanced. If anything is in deficiency or in more, what are the diseases? Let's see. There are three types of diseases caused if we have protein malnutrition. Means protein is less. We are not taking protein material, only carbohydrates, only we are taking only rice but not proteins, not pulses nor cereals, like this. So protein malnutrition. Deficiency of protein. Calorie malnutrition. We are taking more calories but no proteins. Not proteins we are taking but not calories. Then protein calorie malnutrition. Food which lacks both protein as well as calorie. So kwashiorkor disease. This is a disease which is caused by due to protein deficiency in diet. Body parts becomes what? Swollen due to accumulation of fat in the intercellular spaces. So protein is not present, only carbohydrates they have taken. So what happens? The swallowing of the body parts, and they won't feel hungry, and they poor muscles will be there, swollen legs, fluffy face, difficulty to eat, diarrhea, dry skin are the symptoms of this disease. Now the marsamus. Marsamus is the deficiency of both when we don't take enough amount of proteins as well as calories. So this happens due to the deficiency of these both. So it is generally seen in pregnant ladies. Occur when there is an immediate second pregnancy or repeat childbirths. Lean and weak, less developed muscles, dry skin, diarrhea, etc. are the symptoms of this disease. Obesity. Obesity is the excess overeating of calories, not proteins. He is taking a excess of calories but not proteins. Protein is lacking in it. So this is a hazardous, means it is a very bad disease, because it is because the people who are obese, they will target of many diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular, renal, gallbladder problems. So junk food also causes obesity. And the vitamin deficiency diseases. See here. Vitamins are organic substances. They are micronutrients. Vitamins are actually we required in very small quantities. They are synthesized they are synthesized by the bacteria present in our large intestine. They are mostly present in the fruits and vegetables. So here they have written, one is diet and other is bacteria present in the intestine that synthesizes and supplies vitamins to the body. Depending upon the solubility of the vitamin is divided into two, that is water soluble and fat soluble. Water soluble vitamins are B complex and vitamin C, and the other fat solubles are vitamin A, D, E and K. So there are 13 types of vitamins. See here, this is a chart. Okay, so there are, see here, B1, B2, B3, B6, B5. Okay, these are the B, we call it as them as B complex vitamins. They are produced, they are the resources of these vitamins are cereals, oilseeds, vegetables, milk, meat, fish, egg. So deficiency of vitamin B1 causes beriberi, and the symptoms is vomiting, fits, loss of appetite, difficulty in breathing, paralysis. Okay, glossitis. If B2 is lacking. So what are the diseases? What are the sources? Milk, eggs, liver, kidney, green leafy vegetables. So these are the resources. What are the symptoms if there is a deficiency of B2? Mouth cracks at corners, red and sore tongue, photophobia, scaly skin. So and the other also, niacin, pyridoxine, cyanocobalamin, folic acid, pantothenic acid, biotin, ascorbic acid, the vitamin C, that is vitamin C is also called as ascorbic acid, and which are present in all the citrus fruits, lemon, orange, Mosambie, everything. Retinols are the very good for eyes. That's why it has given a name of retinol, and it is mostly present in, it is abundant in carrots. And the orangish color food and fruits and vegetables, and also in green leafy vegetables. Calciferol, vitamin D. So it's also called as sunshine vitamin. Deficiency of this causes rickets. Tocopherol, phyloquinine, problem related to blood clotting. So this is the vitamin name. This is the resources from where we can get these vitamins, and the diseases caused by the deficiency of these vitamins and the symptoms of these diseases. These are the keywords what we have learned in this chapter. Okay, question answers. Let's learn this one. Okay. The digestive system includes the alimentary tract and several associated organs and digestive glands. The function of system are as follows: indigestion, digestion, absorption, defecation. Ingestion means taking of food into the blood. Digestion, breaking up of complex food substances into the simple substances by specific enzymes so that they can be used by the body. Absorption, the passage of digested food through the walls of alimentary tract, particularly in small intestine, into circulatory system. Defecation, the passage of undigested material from the body by the way of anus. Okay, thank you.